Hello and welcome to another Talking Shop on HEXUS channel. I'm talking to Stuart Bradshaw, who's the Mobile Marketing Manager for Plantronics in EMEA, is that right?
That's right, yeah.
But Mobile Marketing Manager doesn't mean that you actually move around as opposed to sit around, it means that you cover the mobile product segment.
I do travel a lot as well, yeah.
Okay, so can you just tell me a little bit about sort of Plantronics, its sort of recent history, what product areas it works in?
Yeah, sure. So Plantronics are probably most famous for providing kind of call centres and office environments with very hard-wearing, business-grade headsets.
Okay.
We sell
wired
to
headsets.
Yeah, well, and wireless as well,
okay.
increasingly so. We sell to the emergency services. We sell to the aviation authority in the States.
Okay.
So
they have to be able to.
Do you remember the
deliver.
LaGuardia airport incident a little while ago? The plane that came down in the Hudson River.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was all being communicated across Plantronics.
Okay.
Yeah, so nice and clear. Everyone knew what was going on.
Okay, fair
Couldn't
enough.
avert the accident, but they ended up in the water.
Odd PR opportunity.
Yeah, it was
there.
an odd PR opportunity, and that's often how we get odd PR. Neil Armstrong communicated over a Plantronics headset when he went to the moon.
No way.
Absolutely, yeah.
So you've been around for a while.
So we've been around for a while. We've got the heritage.
Okay.
We recently acquired Altec Lansing,
Yep.
who have similar heritage going back many, many years in the sort of cinema audio space.
Now I know I was working with them before you acquired them, and I always associated them primarily with iPod speaker docks.
Yeah.
Is that still a sort of core area of business for them?
Yeah, it's one of our core areas. We've also got PC speakers, and we marry that with our PC headsets that are Plantronics branded typically. So
Okay.
we're trying to offer a full suite of peripherals now for the consumer around phones, PCs, laptops, those kind of things.
Just want to explore the market for these things in general. I think it's a fair assumption to say that a lot of people are still wary of Bluetooth headsets because there's some sort of image issue associated with walking around with one of these sort of stuck on the side of your head.
Particularly in Europe
Right.
and in the UK, not so much in America. People are a bit more comfortable wearing their tech accessories externally and being seen walking down the street having a conversation.
Yeah.
It's a certain status associated with that.
Yeah, I'm busy and important sort of thing.
The Australians actually call it the wanker factor, and are one of the nations that have
in their usual succinct way of putting things.
refuse to wear these things.
So really? So they're totally anti it, are they?
Europe, we're somewhere in the middle,
Okay.
I think it's safe to say. And it's true, only sort of 10% of mobile phone users consider using a Bluetooth headset, even though in most European countries it's now the law to wear one inside a car,
Yes.
of course, when you're driving.
And you can actually get in a fair bit of trouble.
You can, but
Yeah.
there are other things that you could use in the car, like a speakerphone, but it
Yeah.
won't give you the call quality
Right.
that you'd expect from a headset, and that's really why we focus purely on Bluetooth headsets rather than lots of other Bluetooth devices.
Intel is making smaller and smaller processors to hopefully get into the smartphone market, and then we've got the sort of ARM, the traditional phone processor ecosystem, getting into bigger form factors. So we're basically getting these mobile smart devices able to do a lot more.
Yeah.
Is that a good thing for your
Absolutely.
business?
It's the one area of the mobile phone handset market that's now growing is the
Yeah.
smartphone market. So BlackBerry and iPhone being probably the two most prominent brands within that category, but also other manufacturers bringing better enabled devices. Now, what we're trying to do is to say we'll take the voice part of that equation away from the handset, because the handset's now typically used for email and communication.
It's got enough to do.
Other than voice, would you
Right.
believe it? So for us, if you use your voice communication with a headset, you don't have to worry about answering and ending calls because you can do it all from here.
Okay,
You
I
can
see.
concentrate on using that smartphone device. Because at the minute you put your mobile phone to your ear, you can't use it for anything other
Indeed.
than talking to somebody. So use a headset and use your smartphone for everything else.
I see. Okay. Well, I mean, this leads us quite naturally onto the sort of product in question.
Yeah, sure.
Can you just tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, it actually started about 4 years ago for us with this product here, which is
This
the Voyager.
isn't the product in question.
No,
this is the predecessor.
This is the predecessor. This is the Voyager 510, one of our most successful Bluetooth headsets ever.
Yeah.
It's been in the market 4 years, and
Okay.
the simple fact of that is it's been very successful for us.
Yeah, I know that the latest one's quite similar sort of form factor.
That's
to
right,
this.
yeah.
There seems to be a trade-off in the sort of Bluetooth headset world.
Yeah.
You've got some. These are some that you released last year.
That's right, yeah. This is the Discovery 925.
And this is quite a different
Yeah,
form factor. I think
absolutely.
so this is just a sort of straight little boom.
That's right. Pops in
Nothing
your ear.
goes around the back of your ear and that sort of thing.
Much more kind of discreet, but sort of style focused. So we have the Voyager family, which are these products, which
I like
are
this little case as well. It's
kind
quite
of
fun.
performance first, aimed at the mobile professional.
Right.
The Discovery lineup is taking that technology but trying to pack it into small form factors, plus come up with innovative accessories and charging devices. So for example, with this headset, it comes in this nice little lipstick case, which is actually a battery to keep the headset charged when you're not using it.
I wouldn't call it a lipstick case if you're going to sell it to Blake. So.
Well, it's got a unisex appeal, as you can see. It comes in many different colours, for example, purple here, and we also did it in the white as well.
And this was just a sort of fun bling one.
Yeah, we did do it in gold, and we blinged it up with a bit of diamond and pearl.
Awesome.
Yeah, we got that into the hands of a few celebrities last year.
This box is showing us all the actual guts of it.
Yeah, exactly. So we've got the gold fabric, we've got this porous stainless steel windscreen here, we've got a fantastically large speaker, and then we've got this nice big battery that sits behind the ear. Not to everybody's taste. In fact, let me just model how that is worn over the left ear. He said, being a right-handy, it's a little bit tricky, but you can see actually when you're wearing it, the battery's pretty much well hidden behind the ear, and it's actually very comfortable and very stable to wear the product.
And again, there's a trade-off if you want the longer battery life and that sort of thing.
That's right, you've got to have a good size battery.
Yeah.
Nice long boom, again, bit of a trade-off there sometimes is that if you're wearing a headset with a short boom, that can quite often diminish the quality of the call and the quality of your voice.
It's further away from your mouth.
Absolutely, yeah. So that's important. 2 dual microphones, and they're only tiny little things, but we put one on the outside of the boom and one on the inside. One focuses on the voice, one focuses on the ambient environment around you.
And what's the purpose of focusing on the ambient environment?
Well, this is to get that noise cancelling effect.
Okay, so it actively monitors what's going on and is able
and it kind of cuts out those frequencies
write it off.
And write it off, yeah. Okay. But importantly, it's taking a wide range of frequencies, and that's what our Audio IQ technology does. 20-band graphic equalizer to make sure we get all the highs and lows that you get in normal natural speech. A lot of our competitors have products that clip the highs and lows and make you sound like a robot.
Right. There's a product called the Jawbone.
That's right, yeah.
Which is quite popular at the moment.
It is.
Is that one of the main sort of products that you're competing against with this launch?
I would say so, certainly in the US and in the UK. In fact, the Jawbone guys brought their release of the product forward to coincide with the launch of ours.
Talking about sort of standardisation and that sort of thing, I noticed on these products there's a sort of different shape USB sort of slot there. Can you tell me about that?
Well, I expect this to become more well known. But
port, that was it, not
port. We've standardised on micro USB, and we have done for over a year now.
Right.
And that means that when we put accessories in the box, they're modular, they work with different headsets. So, for example, this one will come with an AC charger, a USB charger cable, and a car cigarette lighter charger, all micro USB, which means you could plug other headsets, and also handsets. So at Mobile World Congress this year, there was an announcement that all handset manufacturers would have to start doing away with proprietary connections and standardising on one standard.
I gather that people are finally starting to listen to music a little bit more on their phones, thanks probably to things like the iPhone.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And one thing, I've been aware of the stereo Bluetooth headset market for a little while, but that doesn't seem to have caught on. Is that a correct assumption?
I think that is a correct assumption. We've had products out in the market for, again, around 4 years, expecting more and more people really to be using their phone, their handset for music.
Because it seems like such a good idea. You don't want that wire flapping around, especially if you're going for a run or something like that.
That's right. And I mean, especially with brands like Sony out in the marketplace with their Walkman phones, you would assume that people would associate quite comfortably.
Yeah.
But actually, it's taken Apple really to integrate the iPod with phone capability to bring it to the market. And finally, last week they announced stereo Bluetooth. The new version of the iPhone software.
You can't just have normal vanilla Bluetooth and be able to use stereo?
No, absolutely. Normal vanilla Bluetooth will only give you mono, which is essentially for calls, communication. So with stereo, and this is our new product, which is called the Backbeat 903 and 906, this allows you to connect wirelessly, obviously, to the...
So you use this as a dongle into the normal microphone?
I mean, it depends. If you've got a standard handset from, I guess, most manufacturers are probably shipping stereo Bluetooth on their handsets now. Yeah. So you actually only need the headset to be able to listen to that music.
And bizarrely, there might actually be less stigma to having a stereo headset on than there is just a mono.
Yeah, because people associate stereo with music, and that's the reason we've branded it Altec Lansing as well, by the way. I think people feel more comfortable with that. So certainly if you're going down the gym or for a run, we've designed this to be worn for those kind of active wear situations. Down the gym, you put your iPod down, you get on the treadmill, you don't need to worry about cords flapping around and pulling out your ear. Okay, thanks a lot for coming in, Stuart. It was great speaking to you. Thanks, Scott. So I was talking to Stuart Bradshaw from Plantronics. You've been watching Talking Shop on HEXUS channel. Join us for the next one.